on to the West.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who we got. So we got
Well, it could be a series wrap in a few hours with this Golden State Denver series.
that's true. Wait, who won the other? Who's Phoenix playing? Phoenix is playing
The Pelicans.
the Pelicans.
Yep.
And then Minnesota is playing Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. Oh, so it was the 7-8 teams that won the play. Okay, gotcha. All right. So we'll go Phoenix, New Orleans first.
Mm-hmm.
And Phoenix is up 2-1. Did the Pelicans win game?
Pelicans won game 2.
Game 2. Oh, so they took one away.
Right, yeah.
That's interesting.
Booker went down.
He's back though.
Let me check. No, he's still out.
He's still out. Oh, so that's quite interesting. All right, so this is a big game then because they're playing in New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts?
So I still think it's all Suns. It might not be Suns in 4, but it'll still be Suns because I think if New Orleans, I mean, we could play ifs all day, but if New Orleans had a healthy, good Zion, this would be a little bit different conversation, but they don't. And for that fact, it's just Suns because they've got too much star power. They've got DeAndre Ayton. They still got Chris Paul. They've got Mikal Bridges. It's just too much.
Yeah, they've got a squad. I remember playing 2K 2 years ago, and I got my player got drafted by the Suns, and like at the time, I think Kelly Oubre was still there, and there was one or two others, but like that team then was like in 2 years, and all the players developed. It was like, oh, they might be quite good, and then here they are.
Yeah.
What's the status of Zion? Because I know he had the foot thing, and then they had like I guess a disagreement on how bad the foot thing was. Because I saw there was video of him throwing down like 360 dunks in some random gym somewhere.
Yeah.
So, like, does anyone actually know what's going on with him?
I honestly don't think so. I think he's still recovering, but at the same time I'm like, if he's doing 360 dunks, what's his deal? You shouldn't be doing 360 dunks if you're telling everyone my foot hurts. You should be first trying to build up to be able to run up and down the court after just taking standalone shots without having to move your feet too much.
Yeah.
Like,
was it broken?
I can't even remember. It's been that long.
Oh God. Well, hopefully he's back next season. I know I had a couple of friends with him that like partied with him at Beach Week when he was at Duke, and they said he was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
So I hope he comes back healthy and stuff, obviously. But all right. So we'll say Suns to close that one out. Let's see. Warriors Nuggets, the other one. Warriors are up 3-0. They play today, actually in about 30 minutes is tip off. I think Warriors close this one out, probably.
Yep. I think they do. Between Jordan Poole, he's been amazing. You got Steph Curry. And you've got he's been there, but the absence of an MVP Joker. There's a difference between the regular season Joker and the playoff Joker. One shows up, one doesn't. And so I think that's another reason why last year I got a little bit upset because Joker won the MVP, but then he proceeded later on to throw a punch or he had a scuffle shortly after. And so I was like, do you really want the NBA being represented by a guy who, yes, he wins the award, but then he goes to throw a punch at someone, regardless of what happens, you don't throw a punch.
Yeah. So, he is averaging 30, 13, and 5.
Right.
Which is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But what's been going, because I haven't really watched any of the games, to be honest. So Jordan Poole, people threw his name around during the regular season, but also I'm just looking at the postseason leader stats right now on the ESPN app. He's shooting average like 9 for 14, which is was it like 65% or something ridiculous?
Yeah.
So this is not sustainable, you would think.
Hmm.
So what's been going on with like the series? Because just looking at some of the numbers, like Curry's been good, and then Klay Thompson, is he playing Klay?
I'm not sure if he was. I
Yeah, so
don't think he's starting, but he's playing.
it says he's
Yeah.
averaging 22 a game. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that's like a but yeah, so surely the Jordan Poole thing, that's not sustainable, is it? Or I haven't watched, but I don't know.
I mean, based on how he's shooting, it appears so. It appears sustainable because he's been playing decent minutes, and it's not like he's just been hitting shots. I mean, some of the times it's not like he's totally open. It's just he's hitting them. And I think what's the problem is obviously Utah can't guard them, but you've got to guard Steph Curry. You've got to guard a Klay Thompson or an Andrew Wiggins. So it's like there's so many scorers that it's like, who do I choose to guard? If I guard one on one, there's a good chance they're just gonna dribble on me, do a step back, something along those lines, hit a three, and that's
Mm.
what they've been doing.
So maybe you can answer this question, but for
Mhm.
those, they seem to go a little bit under the radar during the regular season. Is that
The
fair to
war,
say? Yeah, the Warriors.
yeah, yeah, the Warriors do. I think it's been more recently because like it's been difficult with Klay Thompson.
Hmm.
He's been battling injury, season-ending injuries for 2 years now, and finally he's healthy, which is good. But I mean, they're not even at full strength. Like even with Klay Thompson, they're still missing the center that they drafted 2, 3 years ago.
Oh,
Um,
Wiseman?
yeah, Wiseman.
Is he
He's
out?
out.
He's done for the
Yeah,
season though, right?
right. Yeah, Wiseman's out for the rest of the season. So this isn't even a full strength Golden State Warriors team.
So
Um,
that's what's interesting
yeah.
to me because they went a little bit under the radar, kind of.
Hmm.
I guess just based on the fact that they weren't like guaranteed to
Hmm.
get to the finals like they were four
Right.
years ago,
Yeah.
but they're still very good.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the same big three, basically. I mean, yeah, there's no KD, but you have a Steph, Clay, and Draymond
Hmm.
that are still there. They've been there for a while. They have a great chemistry, and then they bring in these young guys like Jordan Poole, Gary Payton II. You even bring in like an Andrew Wiggins, Otto Porter Jr., and even Kevon Looney, and
Hmm.
it's just the right recipe.
Looney's been there for a while as well. I think
Yeah.
based on what I know, what you've told
Hmm.
me, next year, if everyone is healthy,
Hmm.
they could be on the short list of championship contenders.
Yeah. Anytime you got Steph, and then you add in Clay Thompson, you're definitely in the contender championship pool. Yeah.
All right. So we'll say Golden State closes that out,
Mhm.
obviously. The two seed Memphis is playing Minnesota. I'm also looking at the standings, and it just looks like from the last time I really paid attention to the NBA, everything looks upside down. Like Houston and OKC are just at the bottom,
Mhm.
and like everything just looks topsy turvy. But we have Memphis, we have John Morant,
Yep.
and he's been playing insanely well, from what I
Mhm.
understand. So
Yes.
what's going on with with that?
So this has been a very interesting series. Basically, it's been a lot of highs and lows for both sides. Um, for yesterday, it was Minnesota got out to a decent lead. They were up at half, and then they were up heading into the fourth, but then uh, just or yeah, they were headed into the fourth, and then Memphis kind of came back, but they were able to hang on despite Memphis putting up basically, I think it was 5 more points than they did in the fourth, to win it by one. But it's been a back and forth battle between just the big guys like Cat. You got Anthony Edwards for those two for the Timberwolves, and even not to forget D'Angelo Russell. Um, But basically, it's been a battle of those big stars, the big young stars, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and then of course John Moran, who put up a decent performance, but it was really highlighted last night with them by Desmond Bain, their other young star, a very good perimeter shooter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I see Anthony Edwards he's a rookie, isn't he?
Anthony Edwards, second year. Yeah.
So was he? Because he played at Georgia, right? And so I don't think there was not a lot of the I'll say the regular people that don't pay attention. He wouldn't have been on a lot of their radar because I don't think they did very well that college season.
No.
But he's turned into basically a borderline future all-star in the space of 2 years. So that kind of came out of did that come out of nowhere, or people knew this was coming?
No.
I saw Pat Beverly said that he was going to be like the next insert greatest of all time player. I forgot. I don't know. Remember if it was MJ or LeBron or whoever, but like Pat Bev said something like that. And then so what is so good about him?
What's been so good about him is slowly, I mean, I thought he was the best player out of the 2020 draft. I had him #1 ranked. Even though he played at Georgia, you're playing in a competitive SEC. And so I thought he just needed a little bit of time to further develop his like shooting. That was one of his main struggles. He wasn't as good of an outside shooter. He would take a bunch of shots, but he just needed a little bit more development and then just become a better, like get a little bit better defensively. He was pretty good already, but needed a little bit of fine tuning. And so I think because he was only like, I think 18 when he got drafted, he just needed a little bit more experience. And now we're finally seeing, okay, he's gotten almost 2 years of coaching and he's now got some playoff experience. He's really, especially in this past month, has really stepped up into a prime role to help the Timberwolves long term.
Who you got coming out of the series?
It's tough. Can't even remember who I predicted originally. I think I chose the Grizzlies, but it was a hard choice because I really think John Moran is basically Allen Iverson of this current league. He might not put up 30 points like AI each night, but he has the moves and the quickness and the flair like AI had.
Yeah. So you're gonna go Memphis?
Yeah, I think Memphis, but again, it's a real toss-up because both these teams have done great and both these teams have also done bad at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you get with young teams. Inconsistency. All right. The last series in the West, Dallas and Utah. Luka makes his return. I think Utah won anyways. So let's see. Did they win?
Yeah, Utah won.
So it's 2-2. What are your thoughts on this series? What do you think?
So I think Dallas has done a tremendous job without Luka because Luka is their best player. However, there's just something about Dallas that just, I don't know. It's like they can't put it together any year. They come close. They come really close, but then it's like they blow it in 7 games or 6 games or something like that. And I still feel like it's the same thing. I still feel like Utah, they've got more experience between Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, that sort of group, that it's just a little bit too much for them to handle.
So Utah, you got Utah going through.
Yeah.
All right. Prediction time. So hypothetically, right, Phoenix pulls that out, and then they'll play Utah. You got who you got in that one? Phoenix in that one?
I think with Booker being back in this scenario, I got Phoenix.
All right. And then Memphis and Golden State, who you got?
Golden State.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, then a Golden State Phoenix Conference Finals.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's another 6 or 7 game series for sure.
I'd like to see Chris Paul. I mean, unless it were against the Sixers, I'd like to see him get a championship eventually. But I'd have to say Golden State. I
I was
think.
I was about to say
Yeah.
the same thing, but with Miami. I was like, I'd love
Yeah.
to see Chris Paul win unless it's against Miami. All right, so you'll say all right, Golden State in the finals, and then against either we'll do Miami or Philly. We'll go Golden State, Philly first.
I think Philly,
Yeah,
because I don't think Golden State has an inside person to honestly guard Embiid. And I think the same would go similar for Miami. Like they don't have a guy to. Yeah, you got Draymond Green, but can they really guard Draymond? Like PJ Tucker, I think could basically cancel out Draymond.
yeah,
Draymond's a little bit better, but then who do you? I mean, yeah, you got Looney, but can he really guard Embiid or Bam? I don't think so. The only concern about Golden State for both scenarios would be they've got that shooting.
yeah.
As good as Miami's shooting is, Golden State's is just otherworldly.
Yeah,
Come
they're
playoff time.
insane. They're insane. All right, we won't make you pick an NBA champion. We'll leave it there. Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Whoever comes out of that series, man.
Charlotte Hornets next year.
Oh, stop it. All right. Heard it here first. Whoever comes out of the Miami Philly series, that second round series, if both teams win their first round matchups against Golden State in the finals, we won't make them do the prediction. We'll save them the torture, and we'll just make them do NFL predictions instead.